Hey, what's up guys, it's TechOSol here. In today's video, I want to bring up a critical topic, especially if you are planning to upgrade your Ally SSD into a high-end one. That's because after upgrading mine to WD Black SN770M, I saw a significant temperature increase relatively to when I used the stock Micron one. But the reason for that is primarily due to its superior speed. For over the past few weeks, I've been using this low-profile copper heatsink that we are all familiar with, while others are recommending now to use a bulkier aluminum heatsink. But today, I'm introducing yet another copper heatsink option, which I believe is more cooling efficient. So stick around as this video will guide you in selecting the perfect heatsink for your Ally SSD. First thing first, I need to tell you about the testing environment for all the tests you will see. In Armory Crate, I have made a power plan and set all power limits at 30 Watt. As for the fan speed, it's set to maximum. And the room temperature is at 25 Celsius. Our test will include Crystaldisk benchmark and some Cyberpunk gameplay in order to analyze temperature in different scenarios. So that being said, let's get started with a baseline Crystaldisk benchmark on the WD Black SN770M without any heatsink applied. Alright, the results are in. The SSD reached peak of 82 and as you can see, the controller peaked at 94 degrees. With such high temperature, this could easily decrease its longevity over time. So if you are considering this SSD or a high-end one, a heatsink is totally a must. Now next we'll run Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay. After roughly 20 minutes of gameplay, the SSD max temperature was 61 degrees. As for the controller sensor, it's 78. Moreover, the APU temperature peaked at 65 degrees. So now after doing this test, we have an idea about what we are dealing with. So let's get to our first option, which is this low profile copper one. I'll be pairing it also with a 1mm Arctic TB3 thermal pad. With the heatsink in place, we rerun the Crystaldisk benchmark. The results are here. I must say it's quite impressive. The temperature dropped by approximately 14 degrees on the first sensor and 7 degrees on the controller one. While it's not red anymore, but still 87 is quite high. Let's now see its performance during the Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay test. After roughly 20 minutes of gameplay, the temperature has reached 61 degrees. It's pretty much the same as when we had no heatsink applied, but it took longer to heat up this time. Interestingly though, the APU temperature decreased by 2. Looks like that the SSD heat can affect nearby components, increasing the overall heat of the device. Now the time has come for those seeking a high-end cooling solution. And here it is. It's quite chunky and measures at 25x25x7mm. I got it from AliExpress for $6. I'll also link it in the description below. Installation is straightforward and it fits well, but ensure you tilt it ever so slightly in order to avoid putting it over the heat pipe. Now finally, let's rerun the Crystaldisk benchmark. So here the results are even more promising. The SSD max temperature is 56 degrees, with the controller at 73. Then again, let's see how it goes with Cyberpunk gameplay. And here the results speak for themselves. The max temperature was 52 degrees for the SSD and 68 for the controller one after more than 20 minutes. This heatsink not only helps the SSD but also benefits other components, like as you can see, the APU temp has dropped by 3 degrees, getting to 61. I am really glad with this result and would highly recommend a quality copper heatsink like this one to complete your Ally SSD upgrade. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful in any way, please subscribe to TechOsaur to support me creating more content. Also feel free to comment with any questions about this heatsink. See you in the next one.